Hey Chi Alpha, man, we miss you guys. Coming to you today from my backyard, and I just have a short devotional I want to share with you from one of my favorite writers, C.S. Lewis. If you're not familiar with C.S. Lewis, he, among other things, wrote the Chronicles of Narnia and all the affiliated stories, if you know those. One of the books that I love the most, probably the book I love the most that he's written, is a book called Mere Christianity. And in that, he answers a question that a lot of skeptics often have, and a lot of us have during times like this, when you see such a great need around the world and in your own lives. How in the world, here's the question, how in the world can God hear all these prayer requests and respond to everything in an appropriate time frame, in an appropriate way? I mean, there's just must be hundreds of millions, if not billions, of prayers every day or even at every moment being offered up. Well, C.S. Lewis puts it this way. I'm going to give you bring my little hefty coaching board out here. This is what I use for drawing up plays for football. At any rate, it's like we move along this timeline, right? We've got a past, we've got a present, we've got a future. Well, we've got to move from one to the next to the next. That's really our only option, and we're confined to that timeline. And that's how we think of time. And so, yes, we have a past, but we can't go back. And hopefully we've got a future, but we can't jump ahead. So we're all kind of always in the present moment, but we have to move along this timeline. God, on the other hand, is more like the rest of the board. He's like all around time, all at the same time, and can see it all at the same time. So what does that mean for you and me? What it means is God's got all the time in the world to hear our requests, to consider our request, to let the movements and choices of all the other human beings in our lives that influence us happen and occur and shift and move, and then respond at the appropriate and perfect time as we have need of his answers. Another way that C.S. Lewis puts it is this, and we'll wrap up with this. It's like an author writing a story, right? And maybe you can relate to this having written papers for school, where you start it and you put it down for a while, and then you come back to it later to finish it. An author will do the same thing, right? If he or she is writing a story, for example, I don't know, a murder mystery, and we say, Bob was in a dark alley late at night, and he heard the wind picked up, and suddenly there was a rustle and a clank, and he turned quickly. Well, the author might stop writing the story at that moment and take a break. May go do something else for a while and come back to it, maybe even the next day, right? But when he comes back to it, or she comes back to it the next day, she might write down, and then a shadowy figure stepped out under the light. Now, in the character's story, there's no gap, right? It just went from one thing to the next. But the creator and the maker had all the time in the world to consider what would happen next, and how to alter the next, and how to insert into the next, right? But for the character in the story, which would be me and you, there was no gap. There was no lengthy amount of time. And today I want to encourage you to trust that the maker of your soul, the creator of the universe, not only is able to hear every one of your prayers, to consider every one of your prayers, but also to respond in the appropriate time and way, just as you need them. And the reality is, you won't even realize that he's taken all the time in the universe to do so. Because at the appropriate time and moment, according to his purposes and his will, he'll intervene on your behalf and mine too. That's what I want to leave with you today. You can trust him. He's got a handle on it. He's going to be with you. He's going to see us through despite the chaos and all that's going on right now. Okay? Hey, peace be with you. Love you guys. Can't wait to hug your necks. Hope to see you soon. God bless you. Bye-bye.